It just occurred to me, this channel has been around for about 18 months and I have never reviewed an iPhone. I've unboxed them, but I've never reviewed them. With that being said, here's my long-term review of the iPhone 13 Pro Max. What's up guys, welcome back to Michael's Tech Talk. It's time for me to share my experience with the iPhone 13 Pro Max and let you guys all know why I use a Pro Max iPhone. So let's get into it. Let's start off with the design. The iPhone, especially the iPhone Pro series, is by far the most premium device you'll get on the market. The minute you pick it up, you know you've got a solid premium device. With the stainless steel body and the frosted glass back, you just know that you've got something that's premium. Like really premium. The build quality of this phone is truly next level. Like the durability of this stainless steel body is truly next level. It really is. It's ridiculously good is the best way I can describe it. Ridiculously good. And actually, I've got a true story for you. My younger brother recently bought a 13 Pro Max iPhone, and 3 weeks after owning it, I got the dreaded phone call. He's, Michael, I've dropped my iPhone. I broke the screen. And I'm like, oh. Right, okay. Sure enough, he had no case on it. Cringe. He had no case on it and he had dropped it, and sure enough, the screen had broke. And it landed corner down on the pavement. Corner down, bang, screen cracked. And you picked up the phone, and on the corner of the phone was a couple of little marks, but it wasn't dented. It didn't damage the body of the phone. And it actually chipped a part of the pavement out. So there was a big chip where the phone had landed corner down. It took a bit out of the concrete. What more can you say? It's a solid boy, and I don't know about you guys, but if you've ever dropped one of these on your bare foot, yeah, you soon feel it. It's a heavy boy. It's a heavy boy. The frosted glass back, in my opinion, complements the shiny stainless body so well. You just look at it, and for me personally, it's my favourite colour combination. The matte frosted back and then the shiny body. Now, granted, I always use a case. I'm not really a naked phone user. I'm not that guy. I don't have the guts for that whatsoever. But if you're that person, fair play to you, because I can't do it. I can't do it. So, which is a bit of a shame, because look at it, it is stunning. It really is. Space grey as well. So let's talk features. So the iPhone is rocking the A15 Bionic chip. It's a 5nm chip, and let's be honest, it is the benchmark for silicon chips in a phone. Apple have been absolutely next level with, ever since they dropped the chip into the iPhone 10, those benchmarks, and they have just built on that year on year. And I mean, you've got mobile chips that can compete with a laptop, like a heavy duty laptop. It's crazy the power that these things can produce. Whether you're editing a 4K video, whether you're gaming, whether you're watching HDR movies, I mean, this thing has power to burn. Triple camera setup, 12 megapixels on all three of the lenses. We have your wide, your ultra wide, and your telephoto. Great point and shoot camera, but we'll get into cameras a bit later in the video. MagSafe then as well. MagSafe has been a standard feature from the iPhone 12 series. Part and parcel now of everyday life for me personally. I use it every day, whether it's on my desk, whether it's in the car, by my bed, even shooting some of these videos, I'm using MagSafe. So yeah, MagSafe, such a good feature on the iPhone. Let's move on to the display. So the display in this iPhone is a Super Retina XDR with ProMotion. So what that basically means is it's a super duper good screen. So ProMotion, we have adaptive refresh rate. So this screen can go all the way down to 10 Hz and go all the way up to 120 Hz as it sees fit. iPhone isn't the first flagship to have 120 Hz refresh on their phones, far from it. But again, that's not the way Apple do things. Apple aren't the guys to go, do you know what? We're the first. We did it first. No. They're the ones that'll go, we like that, but we want to make it better. That's what they've done here. iOS, in my honest opinion, on 60 Hz panels for years, has always had the smoothest animations in any phone, and they have taken that and just made it better with ProMotion. So 120 Hz refresh rate, you've got some of the smoothest animations. There's no denying that this display has been truly optimized within iOS to get its best potential out of the display. Whether you're watching an HD movie, whether you're gaming, this display, top notch, if you'll pardon the pun. And on that, that's a good segue into the next part of the display, and that is the notch. Yes, the notch, a little bit smaller on this phone than it was on the iPhone 12 series, but Face ID still there, still present, and Face ID is by far the benchmark when it comes to facial recognition on a phone. The way Face ID 3D maps your face, it doesn't just take an image of your face, it 3D maps, so whether you're wearing glasses, wearing a hat, change any of your appearance, as long as your physical face is still there, it's going to recognize you, and it's more secure. Stereo speakers on this phone, in my opinion, have been the best on any flagship phone that I've tested this year. That includes the Pixel 6 Pro, the S22 Ultra, the Fold 3, the Flip 3. The speakers on this are grade A. No, they're not tinny, they are powerful, they're punchy. Great. Let's move on to battery life. This is the reason to own a Pro Max, hands down. The 13 Pro Max is the battery king of all smartphones. I'll fight anybody that tells me different. Is this battery the biggest battery in a smartphone? Absolutely not. The battery in this phone is only 4,352 milliamp hours. Is it the biggest battery? No, it is not. But the way iOS is optimized for this battery, this is the battery king. To put it into real person terms, if you were to jump onto social media, you can go on and you can see people are reporting, 7, 8, 9 hours worth of screen on time. To the average person, screen on time means absolutely nothing to you. So I'll give it to you in simple terms. I can get 2 days out of this phone. 2 full days of full proper use, taking phone calls, using social media, shooting videos, watching YouTube, all that sort of stuff. I can get 2 days out of this. When I get to bed at night, if my phone is at 50% or above, it doesn't get charged. It lasts me another day. Easy. And that's not turning off 5G. I don't use low power mode. I've never used low power mode in my life on any of my devices. The king. Battery king. Let's talk about the cameras. Triple cameras in the back, 12 megapixel in each of them, with your wide, your ultra wide, and your telephoto lens. The camera hardware, in my honest opinion, is a little dated when you compare it to some of the other flagship phones out there. Other flagship phones are using much bigger sensors and much better camera hardware. I do feel the iPhone has lacked in that area. If the rumours are true this year, we'll hopefully get a good bump in that. This phone out of the box is a great point and shoot camera. If you're taking portrait mode photos, taking ultra wide photos, that sort of thing, it's a great point and shoot. The colours have always been relatively decent for me. The image processing has always been good. Would it be better than some of the other flagship phones out there for photographs? In my opinion, no. Now, photography is a very subjective subject. What I would think is a good photograph, maybe other people wouldn't think it is a good photograph. Now, personally for me, I think the Pixel is hard to beat for photographs, but where the Pro Max excels is the 4K video. This phone is the king of 4K video, and I have yet to see a phone this year that can even get close to the 4K video. Its image stabilization is absolutely fantastic. All of my B-roll on this channel is shot with this phone. I have a mount directly above me. That's where my phone sits when I'm doing B-roll. Not for this video, right enough. If I'm doing an unboxing and you're getting an overhead shot, it's being shot in the 13 Pro Max. So there you go. There's a little behind the scenes bit of info for you. Other great features then as well, you're talking ProRes video, you're talking raw photographs. ProRes video I have briefly did a bit of experimenting with just to see if it's really worth it. It's good that this phone can do that. So for video, by all means, the iPhone cameras have set the benchmark for me. You've also got good modes like cinematic video. It does only shoot in 1080p, but fingers crossed we get updated camera hardware and that will improve in future updates moving forward. But a 4K cinematic video will be a bit tasty. So let's talk issues. I haven't had any. That was quick. There's not even a mark on this phone. Now, I do keep it in a case, but screen, camera lenses, all sorts of stuff. Accidents happen, things get dropped. There's not a mark on this phone. It's held up so well. It's so hard wearing, and they're built to last. Even currently now running iOS 16 beta, and have been since the beta's launched. Haven't really had any issues. It just works. So that's not to say that there isn't issues with the iPhone. For example, I have friends that live in much warmer climates who do report issues with the 13 Pro and the 13 Pro Max in warm climates with overheating. I can only put that down to the stainless steel body just not coping with the heat, not dissipating the heat the way it should. But for me, I don't get that problem because I live in a country that's absolutely Baltic. And for those of you that don't speak Northern Ireland, that means it's cold. it's freezing. Don't really have that issue. Thermals hold up quite well when it's cold. On to my last topic, why I use an iPhone 13 Pro Max. So yeah, I'm a dual wielder, right? I carry an Android phone and I carry an iPhone. Now, I always have done, and it's simply because it's the right tools for the right job, in my opinion. There's some things I can do on Android that I can't do with iOS. And there's certain tools that especially that I use for my job which work better on Android than they do on iOS. Right, so that's a given. That's why I dual carry. That's why I'll always have an iPhone. I'll always have Android around me. Always been that way. I'm not a fanboy. I'm not a it has to be nothing but an iPhone. It's the where I will have an iPhone, I will also have Android. So that being said, I will always be carrying a Pro Max iPhone in my pocket, and here's why: the big screen. I personally love the form factor. Yes, I would like the Pro Max to be a little bit slimmer, but this display, I can't go back from it. Once I've had that size of display, when you go back to a smaller iPhone, you crave the big display. Pro Max iPhone is a wide phone. You do get the dreaded, pinky indent when you're trying to balance this slab of stainless steel in your hand. It can get uncomfortable from time to time, but you forget about those things when you're using such a good big display. That's the first reason. What can I say? I like big phones and I cannot lie. Jump onto the merch store and pick up one of those t-shirts. My next reason is the battery. What flagship phone with the power that this thing puts out, why wouldn't you want 2 days plus worth of battery? It's an absolute no-brainer. I actually heard rumours that people are charging their Teslas from their iPhone 13 Pro Maxes. That is a joke. Now, but all joking aside, this is the battery king. It really is. 4,352 milliamp hours. It's not that big a battery when you think about it. When you compare it to the likes of the S22 Ultra, which has got a 5,000 milliamp hour battery, it's not that big a battery, but yet it outlasts all those other flagships. It just goes to show you that the specs on paper isn't always the be all end all. Next reason, MagSafe. Now that I have it, I can't be without it. I am never far from having something MagSafe close to me. I'm never far from it. It's everywhere. It's all over the place. I have mounts on my desk over there. I have a mount here. I have mounts in the house. They're everywhere. 2 different types of car mount in my car. Can't do without it. So my next reason, the ecosystem. I managed to get this far without mentioning the ecosystem, but real talk right now, I couldn't leave an iPhone even if I wanted to. That's how good the ecosystem is. And yeah, in tech, you do get the fanboy loyalists that will fight for their favourite brand and their favourite device. They'll defend it to the death regardless of how good or bad it is. And you know what? More power to you. In my use case, it's about the right tools for the right job. My workflow, especially for this channel, for producing videos and producing content for you guys, I do have my iPhone, I have my iPad, and I have my MacBook. So those 3 key devices that I use day to day, the integration of those devices with each other, it's just next to none. You don't get the same experience with anything else, in my honest opinion. You do get good options with other devices, granted, I'll give you that, but it's just not as good. The likes of AirDrop, the likes of, your iMessage, your FaceTime, iCloud photographs, the way everything just syncs across your device. I mean, every single device and every single accessory that I have just all works in unison together. How can you ever fault that? How can you ever fault having a set of AirPods in your ear, listening to something on your phone and going, do you know what, I'm going to move that over to my TV, and you can move it over your TV and even put the audio straight to your pods with a click of a button. If I shoot multiple videos of B-roll and need to get it to my Mac for editing, it's just a simple button and it's away. Bosh, done. No grief, no hassle. Even if I wanted to leave, I just can't, because it works. It just works. The way it needs to work, it just does it. You click the button and it just does what you need it to do. When it comes to flowing between devices and accessories, nothing comes close. It doesn't come close. That's not to say there's other brands out there that aren't doing bits, because I will be honest, Samsung and Google with their Pixel and their Galaxy devices, they're doing bits. They definitely are doing bits, but there's still a way to go yet. Like I am locked into the ecosystem like you would not believe. Like, you're talking watch, phone, AirPods, MacBook, iPad, Apple TV, like everything. I have it all. I'm a walking Apple store in this place, and I'm not even mad at it because it just works. If stuff didn't work the way I wanted it to work, I would maybe be mad, but I'm not mad Can't be. Actually, do you know what? Tell you what. Here we are, behind the scenes. I'm actually shooting this video live, right? There's my MacBook with my script, okay? There it is. It's up on the screen in front of me. Click of a button. Easy peasy. Other people are going out and buying teleprompters and this, that and the other. I literally all this just click, 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 bosh, bosh, done. Works. I digress. And on to my last reason why I use an iPhone. Optimization. It's a word I haven't really used that much in this video. What Apple has done right for years is the optimization of its software to its hardware. Now, not just this iPhone. Not just the 13 Pro Max. Every iPhone. Every iPhone. Any iPhone that you pick up, you know that iOS has been fully optimized for that device. You will get the most out of that device because the software is optimized to its maximum potential with that hardware. That is not even a debate. For example, is the iPhone's display the absolute best in-class display that you can get on the market? No, it's not. But iOS's animations are smoother than anything that you'll get on a flagship device with a fantastic display. It just is. I will go out on a limb here and say the ProMotion on this Pro Max is the smoothest 120 Hz that you'll experience on a smartphone. Come fight me. Does the iPhone have the biggest battery in the world? No, it really doesn't. Far from it. But yet, this phone can outlast any other device. Optimization. The way Apple have optimized iOS for the 13 Pro Max especially, it's just voodoo. It is just some sort of magic because I don't know how they make this so good. The battery life is so good on this phone and there has to be some sort of magic involved in it because it just doesn't make sense. Optimization. That is the key word here. Don't believe me? Take a look around. Take a look around at these other flagship phones. Take a look at the Pixel 6 Pro. Take a look at the S22 Ultra. These manufacturers are trying to do what Apple have done. They're trying to develop their own silicon and they're trying to better optimize their software experience. Samsung have it with Exynos. Granted, it's not a positive experience in most cases when it comes to Exynos, but look at Google. Look at Google with Tensor in the Pixel 6 Pro. Google, in my honest opinion, have done more to get to that sort of experience because they have their hands on the hardware and they have their hands on the software. Make these things talk. Right hand talk to the left hand and make these things flow. These guys are following in Apple's footsteps. And you know what? I'm all for this. I really am, because if it makes smartphones better, gone are the days where you get a big phone and you slap a lot of specs in it and then you just bundle the same old crap bundle of Android into it. All you're going to get there is a lot of people walking about going, well, my phone has 95 billion gigs of RAM. Yeah. It's no use if the phone can't use it. The way Apple can do this with the iPhone, if this can push other manufacturers to step up their game and go, do you know what? We can make our devices better if we just put a bit more effort and a bit more development and a bit more work into our operating system. We can make this so much better. I'm here for it. If this pushes Google to make better versions of this, well then we're all a winner. Are we not? What's the point in taking a big Ferrari engine and slapping it into a car and then giving it to somebody that doesn't know how to drive? Let me know in the comments down below, guys. Are you an iPhone user? What do you love? What do you hate about using the iPhone on a day-to-day basis? Are you like me? Are you a dual wielder? Let me know in the comments down below. The iPhone 14 is just around the corner, and I'll be honest, the 14 Pro Max does have big shoes to fill because, in my honest opinion, the 13 Pro Max is the best iPhone that you can go out there and buy. If the 14 Pro Max doesn't do enough to blow me away, the 13 Pro Max will be staying in my pocket. So what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. Do you have an iPhone? Do you love it? Do you hate it? What's your favourite thing about it? Let me know in the comments down below. Keep it respectful, guys. We're not going to have a lot of bashing back and forth, but any insightful comments, I will reply to you, so let me know down below. That about wraps it up for this video, guys. Hope you liked it. If you did, smash that like button for me. And if you haven't already, click that subscribe button. And don't forget to ring that little bell to be notified of new videos just like this one. I'm going to go and put a case back in this phone before I have an aneurysm. And until the next one, guys, I'll catch you later.